All right, so we're going to be talking a little bit about the client support rep training. We have a new client rep that's joined our team, and Austin's going to be doing a little bit of training. So we want to cover an agenda for you to do, Austin, with the rep. We're going to cover things like, how to open an incident, how to update the incident, which group to assign the incident to, if the incidents are on pending, what to do, and those kinds of things. So we're going to outline an agenda for Austin to cover. Austin, I'll let you go ahead and start it.
Sure. So let's get right into it. The first thing we want to cover is a overview of Freshdesk.
And Freshdesk is our ticketing system. That's what we use for covering ticket. But this will cover essentially any ticketing system that we use. Some of our clients use their own ticketing system, but we like to use Freshdesk. But regardless of whether we're using Freshdesk or the client ticketing system, we want to make sure we understand the different types of tickets, whether it's an incident, whether it's a project, whether it's a request, things like that, right? Or and then give the client updates on those tickets.
So with that, the second item is the ticket type. Like Israel mentioned, it could be an incident, a problem, or a request.
Mm-hmm. Those could be like Austin was mentioning, whether it's an incident, a project, a request. What else?
Planning.
An issue.
Mm-hmm.
An issue or problem. Then you could have something, then it's the stage of the ticket. So these are typically what we consider the different ticket types, right? Mm-hmm. Incident, projects, requests, issues or problems. And then what is the next thing that we want to cover on the training?
I think the next thing is the status of the ticket. Important for us as consultants and project managers to understand where the ticket is at in its life cycle. So if it is just opened, it's most likely open status. So after that, it could be being reviewed or researched. It could be waiting on the customer if there is a outstanding item that needs to be reviewed by them. It could also be on hold or pending. So those things are all important, and they will determine what we need to do for the next steps to get the issue resolved and move forward with the ticket. So the status is very important for us to keep track of.
And on the open status, we don't want to keep the ticket open too long, right? So as soon as the ticket is created, we want to make sure that we assign a consultant or a support agent to work on those tickets. And then once those tickets are being worked on, we want to get an update to either the consultant or the client or the project manager, or a combination of all of the above. That's what support is all about. We want to intake the tickets, get someone to work on it, an agent to work on it, and then provide the client updates on those tickets. And we also want to capture a lot of the notes, the things that are being done on those tickets, and provide those updates through the ticketing system so that everything is captured and logged there. What is the next step, Austin?
I think that's a good point. So I think the next step would be follow-ups and notes. And this is where either the project managers or the agents are actively adding notes and new information to the ticket to keep the customer updated on new information and make sure that they know we're handling the project or the request.
Right, and part of the follow-ups, some of these follow-ups will come in through email, will come in through the ticketing system, will come in through chats, will come in through phone calls. So the rep is going to have to go into the ticket and update those tickets, collect all that information, whether they came in through the email, whether they came in through the ticket, whether they came in through a phone call or chat, and then provide those updates on the tickets and to the clients, right? Updates and then collect information so that we have it all in one repository. And the information could be, like I said, if from an email, from a phone call. We want to update the tickets, and then also if there's some notes or some instructions, we update the SharePoint to make sure that we have all the information collected in one place. What is the next step? Awesome.
The next step, let's see. So we've been through the ticketing types, the status, follow-ups. I think we'll get into the nitty-gritty and talk about assigning agents to the appropriate ticket.
So I think this one could be assignments,
Assignments.
right? And the assignment will have a combination of things, right? We'll have the group that the ticket is assigned to, the agent that the ticket is assigned to, and then the client where the ticket coming from. We also collect whether the ticket came in through a phone call, an email, a chat, things like that. So the assignment will have multiple parts, right?
And to understand what to assign to who, you need to have a good understanding of our clients and also our consultants, because each consultant has a different matrix of skills and assets that can be used. And we like to, be efficient with what we're assigning to each of our consultants. We don't want issue to take too long, or, have a ticket just spin its wheels and drag out for a long period of time. So it's important to understand who would be best fit for each ticket.
And then, like you said, the group is going to determine that, right? If we
Mhm.
assign that to a technical group or a functional group, maybe it's an HCM ticket, maybe it's a GHR, maybe it's a payroll ticket, maybe it's supply chain, maybe it's finance, right? So understanding what the nature of the issue is, or the request, or the project, and assigning it to the right group is going to be important. The other thing is, like Austin was saying, each client will have a different set of skill sets. So whether it's an IT support client or Infor support client, so we need to assign the different groups and the different skill sets, and we tie that to the groups. And then the groups we tie the consultants to those groups.
Absolutely.
What is the next step after assignment?
I would say maybe before assignments or before the status and then the follow-ups, it's important to add tags to the tickets. And this kind of gets into another point that I'll bring, which is the summary of the tickets. So, but first, let me write tags. So in tags, you want to be accurate with your summary of what's going on, how to organize the tickets. So maybe it has to do with a specific application, maybe it's a GHR ticket or a FSM ticket, and you want to label the tickets so they're easier to find, because when all of these tickets are coming in, it may be beneficial to you to organize them so you can quickly access them later.
And the one thing that you mentioned is organization, right? So the tags allow you to organize and then also search. There may be cases where the ticket comes up for one client, it's the same for another client. You want to be able to search on these tags and be able to pull up any resolution, And so the tags will allow you to stay organized, will allow you to research or search for previous types of tickets, and then come up with some solution that may already be there. So the tags are very important.
So the last item that we want to cover is the summary. So someone once told me that it's important to collect as much information as possible, because you're not going to remember everything. When you go through so many tickets per day and so many different issues, information can get mixed up, and you don't want to be disorganized, like we were talking about with the tags. You want to stay organized, you want to stay focused.
Definitely.
And many times an issue may repeat itself, so you want to have access to the same information that helped you solve it the first time. And this will make things go faster and much easier than the next time it arises.
So for the summary, we want to say collect as much notes as you can, provide updates, engage both the client and the consultant, and keep everyone informed. And then also on your notes, make sure you search for previous tickets and notes and updates, right? What else we want to updates?
Screenshots, transcriptions of meetings, as much detail as possible. It never hurts to put too much information on an item.
More info is better than not enough. So yeah, that's the overall summary of our client support rep training. This is to make sure that we have a good support system for our clients. It's going to allow us to keep everyone update and then make sure that we do a good job at providing our support to our clients, and also keeps everyone on the team engaged.
Absolutely.
Any final words, Austin, before we wrap it up?
It may seem stressful and overwhelming to some at first, but anyone can help us with a ticketing system. It's supposed to be user friendly. So
it is user friendly.